Okay, so you want to make a game. Great. But first, you need to choose an engine, and there are a lot to choose from. First up, you've got Unity, and Unreal Engine 4, Source 2, Horde 3D, Frostbite, Love 2D, Flash, and CryEngine. There's such a variety of engines, an almost overwhelming array of choice. So, Stugan, what engines do you use? How many, say, use Unity? Oh, but that's nearly everyone? Right, let's get to the bottom of this. So, Vendi, how have engines changed in the last few years?
Oh, they've changed a lot. The first time I used an engine was 4 years ago, and there was actually an open source engine called Irrlicht, and it was really hard to use. Like, there was no graphical user interface. You had to do everything through code, and it was really hard to just make it show like a little round ball, like traversing through space. I started with Unity shortly after. At that time, it was not the obvious choice. It was the underdog. It was the little engine that could, so to speak, but that also looked a bit shabby. So you could always tell a Unity game because the light wasn't really good, the shaders weren't really advanced, but it was affordable and it was easy to use. It was like really easy to get into. And so they just got more popular. Like, this is really not an issue anymore. You have only good choices, I think. The major engines like Unity and like Unreal Engine 4, they have become very powerful. They rarely get in your way. They are super fast. They are very advanced. They cost surprisingly little. So these tools are so powerful now that, like, they don't have a specific look anymore. Like, you cannot tell anymore if a game was created by this engine or that, because they are very flexible and you can always give it your own twist, your own look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a really happy engine user.
Happy engineer.
Yeah.
Cool, that's all we need to know. Cheers, Vendi. So, Izzy, you've tried so many engines. Do you choose the right engine for you as a developer or the right engine for your game?
I think it really depends on basically how long you're planning to spend on the game and the type of team. So if you're using a team, it's probably not good if you're just like, I'm using an engine that's right for me, but not for anyone else. It's kind of like, for example, if you're making you're really good at Unreal and you're trying to make like a 2D platformer, maybe that's not such a great fit. So you have to kind of consider your team and how long you're working on it. Even though Unity is fantastic for the type of game that we're making, we're a little bit bottlenecked by my lack of ability to program in Unity.
So, Mira, you designed your engine, you called it Crush 2D for Planetoid Pioneers. What was some of the advantages of doing this rather than getting an off-the-shelf variety?
The biggest advantage is that you can make your unique features in the engine and you can use them in a game, and you can stand out from the others, and it's then hard to make a clone of your game.
Was there any point where you considered using an off-the-shelf engine? Like, what drove you to make the decision to do it yourself?
It's my passion. I've been doing it for all life, I think, and I would love to create the one that we could also ship and use for different games, totally different games than this.
If you were sat with someone who was saying, I'm thinking of making my own engine, what advice would you have for them to start?
Go for it. It's a passion. It's something brilliant.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
So, billion-dollar question, what is the best engine out there?
I would say that there's no objective answer to that. I think there are a lot of good choices nowadays. The major commercial game engines have become pretty cheap over the last year and a half. They are very powerful. They have very few big limitations that create huge hindrances for you. And you have to look at things like the license model rather than like technical limitations nowadays to know what should be your engine.
I also feel like it depends a lot on the game that you're making. I know, like, I agree with you with the out-of-the-box engines work quite well. Like, for example, Unity has a huge community and, like, asset store, so it's like anything that you haven't got, you can pretty much get straight away through communities and whatnot, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally right. You just have to see what type of game you're making, what are your needs. As an indie, what's the community which is going to help you, the licenses. And most of the engines are powerful to provide for your needs anyway. So I totally agree with Wendy and Izzy. I mean, yeah.
Oh, just make your own.